Hello, I'm Alex Cotter and I'm here with Moon Lane to introduce you to my new book, The House on the Edge. So The House on the Edge is about an actual house, here it is, that is teetering right on the edge of a cliff. And it's called The Lookout, and inside the house lives Faith and her family. So that's Faith's room just there. And Faith, she's having a really hard time. Her Dad's gone missing, her mum won't get out of bed, and her brother Noah is convinced that there are sea ghosts in their cellar. If that wasn't bad enough, there's a crack that's appeared in the cliff right outside their back door that keeps growing bigger and bigger each day. And then this strange boy Sam keeps popping up on the beach below. He's a little bit smelly, a bit unwashed, a little bit strange, and he's talking about shipwrecks and lost treasure. And Faith starts to wonder if her father's disappearance has something to do with the lost treasure that might be linked to the lookout. But before she can explore further, the worst thing happens. Her brother Noah disappears. So I thought I would just read a little extract from The House on the Edge. This is from chapter 1, so the first few pages of the novel. So if you're sitting comfortably, I will begin. Mum wasn't always this way. Though without a TARDIS, I can see why you might find that hard to believe. You just see what's in front of you. Like people walk along the beach and they'll look up and spot the lookout. Rising tall and uneven, teetering right at the edge of the cliff. And their very first thought is, blimey, that house is going to topple any minute. I swear, I see those exact words written on their faces. Sheer fear that our pebble dash cream walls, our stained slate roof might suddenly fall. Flatten them against the sand like Dorothy's house landing on the Wicked Witch of the East. When actually, things take much longer to fall than that, right? Noah, answer me. Rice Krispies or Cheerios? You have to shout a question to Noah, and you have to shout it at least 4 times before he emerges from deep inside his head like some hibernating hedgehog blinking into the light. Someone wants me? The way with the fairies, Dad calls it, when Noah glazes over like he's fixed to a phone, except Noah never needs a screen. Huh? He lifts his eyes, finally. They look bloodshot and swollen. I heard him creep downstairs again last night. Krispies or Cheerios? I shake both boxes impatiently. I don't even know why I give him the choice. Noah mumbles, Krispies? In a tone like it's the obvious answer, when last week all he ate was Cheerios. He starts studying me as I pour him a bowl, slop him milk. Did you hear it last night? He asks carefully. No, I say, before he can finish the question, rolling my eyes for extra measure. You really didn't hear anything? Noah sits back, incredulous, wedging both hands in his thick red hair so it stands to attention. Uh-huh. That's what no means, I tell him, ignoring the niggle in my tummy. What I heard, I remind myself stiffly, are the noises any ancient house by the sea makes. Gulls shriek, radiators tick, waves crash, beams creak. You can shape sounds into whatever you want, I tell him in the grown-up, sing-song voice I use a lot lately. Like the way you can make star signs fit your life. Which makes me think briefly of Asher, when I'm really trying my best not to. Checking hers every day. I'm not making it up. Noah pulls his sulky face, all eyebrows and bottom lip. I shrug dismissively and turn to put the milk back. I've decided it's best not to give him a platform. That's the posh word this pamphlet in the school library used. All right, so the pamphlet was about OCD and phobias and stuff. But I reckon it'll have the same result. If I don't encourage Noah's fantasies, if he's no one to share them with, hopefully he'll stop having them altogether. Oh, Noah, will you give off night raiding? I groan, staring into the empty fridge. I'll have to shop again now. I haven't. It's not me, Noah complains, before we both glance up at the familiar creaking sounds above. The house's way of saying, she's awake at last. I zip back to the cluttered kitchen counter. Kettle for tea, bread and toaster. While I wait, load dishwasher, pack lunches, eat. I remind Noah what he's supposed to be doing as I rush out with a mug of milky tea and some heavily buttered toast. Calling back, you don't want to be late, because it's something Mum would say. The other Mum, that is. the one you'd need a TARDIS to know about. So The House on the Edge has many themes to it. It looks at shipwrecks and the myth of wreckers. It looks at smugglers and the ghost stories they used to invent to keep prying eyes away from their business. A key theme, of course, is faith as a child carer and what it can feel like to be a child with responsibilities and how isolated that can make you. And it also deals with one of my passions, which is connecting the past with the present, how history and historical figures in our lives, whether personally in our home or in our towns or cities, how they can affect the way we behave today. And I was wondering if you wanted to do an activity linked to The House on the Edge, that the past and the present and how we connect in a story might be one that you might want to look at. So, for instance, you might want to choose somebody that used to live in your house, whether you were related to them or not, or you could choose somebody who used to go to your school, or somebody who was famous locally. And then you could find out how you can connect them to the present. This could be through an object that you find or a secret that they've hidden. And from there, a story might begin to emerge. And I would love to hear your ideas connecting the past with the present. It gets me very excited. Thank you so much for listening, and to Moon Lane for hosting me here. And I hope if you read The House on the Edge that you really enjoy it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Bye.